Today I'm taking some masculine vintage tools and I'm going to feminise them to hang in your home. Welcome to my crafting channel. I'm Alana from Upcycling NZ. Let's upcycle. The first item I'm working on is this wooden spirit level. It's got decades of dirt all over it, so I'm just going to sand that back. This was a $4 buy from a thrift store. Once I've sanded this, I'm going to clean it up. If this had been a super rare item, I probably wouldn't have touched it at all. And these can look really good re-varnished and restored, but I'm going to do something a wee bit different. I'll allow that to dry, and I'm going to use chalk paints in the colour Snow, Hydrangea, Wisteria Mist and Sage. And the sage paint goes with the plastic around the spirit part of the level. I'll start with the white, and I'm really just using that as an undercoat of sorts, and I'm just putting a very rough coat of that all over the wood. Next I'm going to feather the other colours in, and I'm going to cover most of the white with them. It's very subtle and I just want these hues to be very pastel. When that dried, I took my sandpaper again and I'm going to distress all the edges, and specifically around some of those details. This will need to be sealed, but before I do that, I'm taking some of these transfers, and they're of hydrangeas and roses and various other flowers, all in blue and purple hues. They are not colours I use very often, so I'm trying to appeal to other people's tastes. These are really easy to use. You just cut out the parts that you want, peel back the transfer, lay it down, and you'll see everywhere that it was white is now transparent. You can start to rub your transfer on. When you're sure that one side is rubbed down, you can start to lift the transfer sheet. You can then rub your transfer down or burnish it with the sheet that it came on. I'll be using the hole that's already in the spirit level to hang it, so I'm ensuring my transfers are all the right way around to view from the front. And I'll just continue to add these until I like the way that it looks. There's a little circular piece where maybe a brand name or something used to be, so I'm going to put a little bit of hydrangea flower transfer into that area and rub it on. And over top of that, I'm going to place a large glass bead with a flat side on it and apply that with PVA wood glue, which will dry clear. Then you'll be able to magnify and see those hydrangeas through the bead. I'm going to bring the aged vintage look back to this piece again by adding some antiquing wax, and I use a damp piece of sponge to do this. And in the areas where the sanding has exposed the wood, it'll really soak that antique wax up. And to finish this piece, I'm taking some clear wax, and I'm just going to apply that with a shaving brush all over my piece, wait 15 minutes, and then I'll buff it off with a soft cloth. I did the back as well to protect the wall from the paint, and this is how the bead looked once the glue had dried. Now moving on to the saw, although it has a lot of natural rust, I'm going to give it a coat of Rust-Oleum clear coat in a matte finish, and this is just to help the paint to adhere to the saw. I'll paint it using the hydrangea blue colour again. The rust will likely make its way through the paint eventually, but it will add to the old age charm of this piece. I'll leave the handle as it is so that you can see the lovely fasteners and how old they are, and I'll give the saw blade 2 good coats of the hydrangea colour. I have some more transfers, and I get these off the Temu website. They are a Wandic product and they're often on special. So I'll just repeat that process with these wisteria flowers all over the saw blade. When I was happy with the way it looked, I started to add the antiquing wax, but I found that the contrast was quite harsh. So I softened that down by adding a little bit of the clear wax to my sponge to soften the effect, and then I just wiped back areas that were too dark. I'll seal that paint in with some clear wax and wait 15 minutes and buff it off again. I think these would look great in that little bit of wall between doorways that you can't really fit anything in to hang. I really felt like it needed something more to tie it all together, so I'm just inking up my text stamp and I'm just pressing it in the areas that I need randomly all over the saw front. All done.